Giving a man hope is a laudable goal. Giving him false hope is utterly inhuman. The man who wrote these words is now dead. He killed himself not long after being denied his freedom for the 10th time in 16 years, and being presented with the very same aforementioned inhuman false hope. John Mackenzie maintained a virtually perfect and scot-free record throughout the course of his more than 40 years behind bars. He was assessed as having little to no risk of reoffending. He even started programs while incarcerated to help other inmates assess how their crimes impacted the lives of others. Even so, it wasn't enough to grant him parole. Jesse Wegman discussed this controversy in a New York Times editorial entitled "False Hope and a Needless Death Behind Bars." Now, while I do agree with Wegman's main argument of how Mr. Mackenzie's sentence was a sham, I also believe that the ways in which he formatted his editorial could be greatly improved in order to allow for the audience to better understand his claims. The first problem with its formatting was that the main claim wasn't at the beginning of the editorial. It was actually in the middle of it. This creates a clear problem for those who are looking to easily spot a main argument when quickly scanning through an editorial to get the gist of it. Almost the entire argument is attempted to be built up prior to Wegman ever mentioning the main claim. We're just being bombarded with information and storyline, but there is no claim until several paragraphs after beginning his argument to the tutorial's audience of what exactly it is that Wegman is arguing for. All we're left with by this point is a good lot of utterly confused readers who are building their knowledge on the topic at hand based on what notion they were picking up from the first half of the piece. Had Wegman begun his editorial with a well-structured introductory paragraph, including some sort of thesis and foresight as to what readers could be expecting to find within the piece, he would have been a lot better off, assuming that he had been giving more thought into the organizational structure of the piece. Which brings me to the next point. Of the 4 total paragraphs written before the paragraph stating the main claim, only one of those 4 had more than just 2 sentences. The other 3 had at most 2 sentences. When I turn to the New York Times, I expect to see an essay formatting that goes beyond what can be seen at a first grade level. I understand that the point in doing so adds an element of dramatic effect to the piece. However, the content in these paragraphs contains nothing more than mere fact or quotation. These types of things could be easily embedded within the framework of another paragraph in which it would make more sense. Wegman did no such thing. He tried to create a sense of injustice prior to stating his purpose in doing so. This is understandable considering his main claim is a claim of value. However, it almost seems to be bordering on the code of ethics due to the fact that the author appears to be trying to sway its audience towards a certain viewpoint without verbally expressing a reason for doing so. As I previously mentioned, I do not disagree with Jesse Wegman's claims. I only disagree with his presentation of said claims. From the organizational structure of it to the formatting of his evidencing claims, I feel as though his argument could be strengthened by simply informing its readers as to what exactly it is that they're about to be reading. That's something that I feel should be expected, especially at a level such as that you would see in the New York Times. And thank you.